Good morning, my dear student. Today lecture on part second, scientific production technology for cauliflower. Lecture number 12, unit 2, MSc first semester. So I was and I have completed the some slides like introduction. This part can be completed from the first lecture, and today I have completed some other slides from the first one is a variety is also completed. Just describe this is already completed, and today I have started from the seed rate and method of sowing and transplanting distance of the cauliflower for the successful cultivation of the cauliflower. So this is a very important is for the cultivation of the cauliflower is 1 hectare of the seed rate is the 2 to 500 gram of seed should be the needed and sufficient for the 1 hectare areas of the seedlings. So it's very important to the early crop season. So it's seed rate of the cauliflower, and for raising the nurseries the nursery bed should be the preferred by addition of the well rooted formed manure is a quantity of the 10 kg per meter square. It's used for the nursery preparation of the bed preparation or and seed sowing in the nursery bed. So it's very important to the carbon percentage, and decomposed FIM can be used to the nursery for the well growth and developments of the seedling in the stage of the nursery. So it's well growth and well very goods for the healthy plants and availability of the nutrients in the soil. So it's very important to soil erosion and water availability in the soil. So carbon percentage is very important, and so it's used to the nursery raising time. Next one is the point of the soil of the beds is made the friable by thoroughly diggings and plow and harrowing and breaking the clods is very important to the well soil texture, and soil is a fine texture is important to the made of nursery and making the duration of the nursery season. So it's very healthy soil is available for the very good texture for the seed sowing. So it's well maintained and well development of the plants. The installation of soil by the drenching of the nursery bed with the formalin is the 1:49 about the 15 to 20 days before the seed sowing is the benefit for the preventing the attack of the fungal diseases. So it's important to fungal disease, and there the after and the drenching bed should be the kept covered with the polythene for a week, and then beds are again dug and laid open for the 5 to 6 days, and so that there is a no injurious effect of the formalin to the seeds is important to the availability of the plants for very important for the fungal control of the some disease infections in the stage of the seedling, and 30 to 45 centimeter from main season is a distance of the varieties is a late varieties are planted the spacing of the 60 to 75 between the row, and 45 to 60 centimeter between the plants is a planting spacing for the main season. So it's very important to maintain the spacing of the crop areas. And next one is the manufacturing of manure and fertilizer can be used to plant growing and cultivation of the cauliflower. Is the manure and fertilizer required in cauliflowers are depend upon the fertilizer status. Is fertility of the status is the soil, then 150 to 200 quintal FIM can be used to per hectare areas of the cauliflower. It's applied in the soil before the 15 to 20 days before the transplanting, then incorporate in the soil. So it's very important to the decomposition of this FIM in the soil, so availability of the plants. So it's used to there the very good for the good health, and it is should be the mixed thoroughly in the field. So it's the quality of the nitrogen, phosphorus, potash should be given after the determining the fertility of the soil. It's well maintained of the soil and measurement of the soil nutrients by the soil testing. So then can be used to different amount and different quantity requirement as per the requirement of the soil by the testing of the soil testing. So it's very important to good amount and healthy amount can be give to the soil health, give to the soil to soil health. So however the a dose of 40 kg of nitrogen per hectare and plus 40 kg of nitrogen per hectare can be drenching. Basal dose and drenching dose is dashing dose is important, and 30 kg of the nitrogen or the foliar spray has been the recommended for varieties and snowball 16 under the severe condition. So it's very important. So however for the Pantnagar condition is a 16 kg of nitrogen and 16 kg of nitrogen per hectare and 30 kg of 60 kg basal dose and 30 kg of the foliar spray is the three split had been recommended for the some varieties in the condition of Pantnagar regions. So its research area of the Pantnagar regions can be identified, and finding the research of cauliflowers should be used to fertilizer approximate amount of that. So it's very important to fertilizer requirements. And further at the Kalyanpur, the best response was 60 kg of nitrogen per hectare as a basal dose and plus 60 kg of nitrogen top dressing is two equal split doses can be used to soil fertility and to maintain the soil fertility is availability of the soil for the optimum yield of the cauliflower. So it's very important to give the soil fertility and give the soil health and availability of the plants. So it's very important to availability of the soil fertilizer for the good health and well growth and development of the plants. So it's very so its quantity and amount and time is very important to the application of the fertilizer and manure. Also it's very general promotion. So its interculture operation can be applied on the soil to good health and well growth and development of the plants. The interculture operation should be done regularly to keep the crop free from the weeds and aeration of the shoot and root system of the plants. So its regularly bedding can be used to soil areas from the root zone can be digging of the plants. So it's very important to the aeration and water logging and water availability of the plants. Aeration should be, however, hewing the should not be deep, avoid the injuries of the roots. So it's very important to root zone area and root zone areas ability of the air in the root zone, so it's very deep is not suitable for the hoeing plants. Usually in the medium heavy and clay soil there are the crust penetrations in the root system are 100 which are the affected of the plant growth, so it's very important. During the rainy season, the root of plants is raised planting. Is during the rainy season, the roots of plants is raised planting may be exposed, which the require the adequate inquiries for the plants. So it's very important for the during the rainy season, and then the plants of the well growth and development of the plants. And next one is the when the earthing or rizing is done, the side drenching of the nitrogenous fertilizer should also be done for the healthy growth of the crops. So it's very important to the commercial growth and development of commercial developments in the plants. So it's in the commercial weeds control can also be used to control of the weed in the field crops. So it's very important to the use to weed control in the cauliflower, like a weedicide can be used of the vaseline. It's amount of the quantity of 2 to 3 kg of per hectare, and 1.2 hard weeding or Tanorons can be used to 50 WP at the rate of 1 kg of per hectare can be used to growth and development of the uh, growth and check and kill of the beads at the time of the growth and developments of the beads. So it's very important to the control of beads can be used to herbicides and weedicides to control the weed at the cultivation time of the cauliflower. So it's water management also is the first irrigation is given the just after the transplanting. Further the irrigation will be the depend upon whether the soil and soil types and varieties, also is water requirements depend on different condition. So it's however the regular maintain the optimum moisture in the supply is the essential during the both growth and curd development of the stage. For the early and mid-season crop, usually the lesser number of irrigation is needed because of rainy seasons. Because of rainy season is very low, frequently can be used to no need the irrigation at the time of the rainy season. So it is the in the area of the heavy rainfall and planting is done on the ridged furrow irrigation should be given in the season of the rainy season. So it's very important to the water logging condition, and drainage system is proper for the field crops. So rest are the very important for the growth and developments and free from the fungal infection at the area of the root areas the infected by the heavy rainfall is the available of the water at the root zone area. So it's very important to growth and development wise the 0% of the oxygen can be available in the root zone, so it's not available to the uh, beet is the heavy rainfall areas. It's area of the heavy rainfall the planting is done ridged and furrow in the method of furrow. So it's there the disease in pest and physiological disorder of the plants. So it's very important to the stalk roots, and first one is the disease of stalk rot is the sclerosia, is a importance of disease of the leaves when be the infected turn the light green and alter yellows, and sad is the prematurities of the cauliflower. So it's the black roots leather letters and often appear on the potentials and mid-rib stow and the soil is covered with the flowy growth of the fungal. So it's very important to control of measure crop rotation is the highly effective is the decreasing the disease incidence and application of benlates. It's 0.02% of the crops can be used to very important and BMC is used to control of these areas, and this disease is the 0.02% have should be the effective of the reducing this disease. So is the crop rotation and also used to resistant variety of these areas, and this disease is controlled by the some infected areas by the used to the crop rotation, and resistant variety can also be used to control of these disease. Next one disease is the resinous. It is the manifested in the allegation of on the peduncles, the bearing flower buds and returning cuts and granular losses, and somewhat varieties can be used to uh, these areas. The you prefer the initiation of the flower buds is the characterized by the resinous in the cauliflower, and considered to be the of the poor quality of marketing of the curds. So at the IRA New Delhi, it has been the found that these disorders can be resulted from the any temperature of the higher temperature and lower than the optimum requirement of required for the particular cultivation. It's very important to the temperature maintain and during the cultivation of the cauliflowers. So heavy dose of nitrogen and high relative humidity is also contribute to the restlessness. So it can be controlled by the cultivation of the genetically pure seeds, and approxi period of varieties is the recommended cultural practices to control the restlessness physiological disorders. So it's very dangerous to the affected of the yields. Then next one is the Fuzziness is also disorder. It's appear on the flower buds. Is varieties the elongate. The anomaly is both the ordinary and non-ordinary. It's to hereditary. Hereditary is importance to hereditary characters. So it's cultivation of the cauliflower out of there the normal season. Encourage the fuzziness of the uh, cauliflower disorder, showing the good quality of seed is the right season under the proper cultural operations and practices to optimize the fuzziness. So it's importance to the availability of high fuzziness resistance varieties can be used to control of this fungal infection, or this is a physiological disorder. Next one is the Vitel is also physiological disorder, can be a deficiency of the molybdenum causes the Vitel the symptom, especially in the high acidic soils. So it's very dangerous disease to acidic soils because a high managed concentration in such soil higher than the uptake the molybdenum is which seldom occur when the soil pH is 5.5 is uh, soil pH or higher. The young cauliflower plants and because the chlorotics and momentums of white particularly along with the leaf margins. So it's Vitel, it can be the corrected by the application of the lime or dolomites. And so limestone to rise of the soil pH up to 6.5 or higher. So it's very effective in the sodium or ammonium molyblates and at the rate of 1 to 2 kgs per hectare. The soil application can also be controlled the Vitel physiological disorder in the cauliflower. So it's very important. And harvesting and yield of cauliflower is the very important and good for the cultivation of cauliflower. The early maturing cultivars should be average yield of 18 to 120 uh, quintal per hectare area. This is a quintal. And the main season of the cauliflower produce the 150 to 200 quintal yield per hectare. So it's vary from the season and depending also the varieties and area, like open field condition or protected cultivations. So it's very effective variation of the open field condition and protected cultivation also. While the snowball groups and other late maturing cultivar gives the highest yield of the 250 to 300 quintal per hectare area of the cauliflower. So because of the highly compact cud and the longer plant population per unit areas. So it's very important, though high yield and cauliflower can be stored at the temperature of 0 degrees and the relative humidity is also 90 to 95% for the 2 to 4 weeks is the storage duration of the cauliflower. So it's very important to the storage of the cauliflower, and harvesting time is very important. So it's very important to the cauliflower cultivation. So it's there the references can also be go for the detailed cultivation like handbook of horticulture, and some other books can also be refers, and some other institute of the horticulture from the ICR. Okay, any query, any questions, please raise your hands and comment box. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you.